Hello, this is Everything Entertainment, and this is my Death Battle review of Bakugo from My Hero Academia and Reze from Chainsaw Man. And I haven't watched Chainsaw Man yet, so I can't really say if she is strong enough to beat Bakugo because I do know Bakugo feats since I watched the anime and and read the manga. So from what I heard, doesn't stand a chance against Bakugo. And with the stats, like I don't trust Death Battle stats, but with the stats they provided, it seemed like Bakugo was stronger, at least in this Death Battle. Like I predicted Bakugo to win, but since I don't know where's the stats and I haven't watched the anime or read the manga, I'm not really sure if she's strong enough to beat Bakugo. But from what I heard, Bakugo should win with low to mid difficulty. And I wasn't that excited for this fight, but honestly, this fight so far, Death Battle haven't given us a bad fight so far in the season. All the fights have been good. With this one so far being better than Yusuke versus Ichigo, but not better than Metal Sonic versus Cell. But yeah, this dub was good, and I predicted Bakugo to win, and he did end up winning. I'll go to each part of the analyze section of the video and talk about my favorite parts of the Death Battle, which there's a lot that I like in this fight. Now to talk about Bakugo's background, I do like the fact that they have his age correctly. They're not using they're all using the kid version model and technically the teenage version feats. But I do like they got his age at 25 because by the end of the series, everybody is an adult, and I do like that. And I'd also like they got his pro hero ranking. And also the fact that the people the only person he likes is Kirishima. Like they're bros. I really do like that. His background isn't anything special, but it just have interesting facts I didn't think they would actually add. Like Kirishima there was good, his age was good, and his hero ranking was good. Even though I'm not shocked about his hero ranking, I am kind of shocked that they put his age there because they're using teenage Bakugo, his pixels, like the fighter, not adult Bakugo. And the fact they put Kirishima there was just nice because they do have a good bond. I also do like the fact that they highlight his quirk. Like they could have easily just added his quirk in their move section, but they talk about the quirk itself and how his moves are generated by it. And not gonna lie, I do like they added a lot of his moves in it, like even the smaller one moves that I forgot about, like the explode a pulp. I really forgot about that move. Honestly, I only know one with the last two, armor piercing shot and how's it impact. But that's because I haven't read the manga in a while. Because I read the manga way ahead of the anime. Like way ahead of the anime. So I kind of forgot a lot of his moves. But yeah, I'm happy they put a section just on his quirk. Now to talk about his feats, and not gonna lie, I do like his feats that are displayed. I like that they added that he beat Kirishima, Deku, and Todoroki. Even though that was early on in the series, they are still good wins. And I like that they added the Serpent Twins, which I low-key forgot he fought them in that movie. I think the third movie. And as of course, I wish that he added the more awful one feat. Like I wish they did focus on that, but I wish they highlighted most of that. Uh, because it was like a big win for him. Uh, Besides that, blew up a mountainside is fine. Oh, I expect Tokiyami's shadow, Dark Shadow was good. And displaced the airborne UA high. That was also a good feat by him. And defeating Nine was good in that second movie, I think. But yeah, good feats. I think the one thing I had a problem in the feats area is uh the fact they talk about how he didn't die, like that one feat, I can't remember it clearly, but he, basically didn't die, like how he was survived, though I think he kinda died, just barely. Also, I can't remember it right, but I think he somewhat did pass out. I didn't need to reread the manga, but I think he did pass out, and analyzing the fight while he passed out, should it count as a feat? I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I touched the manga, but I think they kind of exaggerated his strength a bit. Like that battle tend to do that, but I think they kind of highballed him a bit too much. Like in the fight, he did almost die, and he was just barely saved. He didn't really come back to life. He was saved. so you can't really count that on him. There's someone cut for durability that he survived long enough to survive to be saved, but I don't think that's fair. But anyway, since his opponent can regenerate, I guess is like a small thing, a nitpick. Overall, I really like how they handle Bakugo. I do think they hyped him up a little bit. Like they didn't really cheat with this one. I mean, they kind of cheat with the calculations since you can't really calculate some of the stuff the characters use. But the one time they use TNT in a death battle, it's actually pretty accurate with these two opponents. It kind of makes sense for these two opponents to use TNT. So it's the only time I think TNT is allowed. But back on track. I do think they handled Bakugo pretty well. I do like how they hyped him up and made him seem so much cooler than not in the anime. Bakugo always been my favorite character from My Hero Academia, but I do have to admit, I was a little disappointed with him a bit at some parts in the story. At least early on, definitely. After he apologized to Deku, that's when like he became my favorite character after the tournament arc, after All Might section, but. I do think like it's weird. They did a good job with his analyze, but they hyped him up with his death a little too much. But he did do good the last walk and beat off what's amazing. Like that was my favorite moment in the final arc of My Hero Academia. But they kind of hyped up his death scene a little bit too much. But anyway, I really do like his analyze, and I really was expecting I'm not expecting a lot of false information because they really couldn't do it with My Hero Academia, especially since it was completed a while back. But I'm not shocked by that at all. They do at times give out good information, real information, and not make it up. So yeah, I just have to say good job on handling Bakugo section of the video. Now, this is the part where I talk about Reze part of the episode, but honestly, still haven't watched Chainsaw Man, so it's kind of I don't want to be fake with her section. So I'm gonna summarize my thoughts, and they did a really good job analyzing this character. I got a good sense of what character she is, and it's kind of on me that they spoiled something that happened in Chainsaw Man. I won't spoil it here, but if you know, you know what happened to her, yada yada. Man, I'm already spoiling a lot. But anyway, my point is, I really do enjoy her section of the video as well. It makes me want to even watch Chainsaw Man right now. Honestly, gotta give it credit for that. And I really do like this character. I got like a little upset, emotional about her section, and I'm like, ah, man, why? Even though I haven't watched the anime, so I have to give Death Battle that. Like when I haven't watched something and Death Battle brings out that emotion in me, all I have to say is congratulations on Death Battle for able to do that because honestly, if they able to bring out my emotions like that, even though I don't like the character, that just go to show how they doing a guy breaking down the characters. So I'm actually gonna skip her section and go to the highlights of the fight and then the conclusion of the episode and see and talk about what I like about the fight and what I disagree in the conclusion of the episode. So yeah, they did a good job with Reze, and I want to watch Chainsaw Man now. So good on Death Battle for being able to do that. To talk about the fight itself, I'm gonna break it down into highlights and my favorite part of the fights and criticize any parts I dislike at the end. To start off, I really like the start of the fight, how they're fighting each other in the sky already, and how they're just falling. Like they're falling while fighting. And we get some cool motions, mainly on Riz's side. And I thought that was really cool that instead of them floating in the air, like falling down, they're doing it upside down for a brief moment. I really like this one scene with Reze, like this brief moment where it looked like time stopped. This must be an anime thing or a manga scene. Like this had to be exclusive to Chainsaw. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty sure this can't be original from Death Battle. Your Death Battle often pulls off scenes from anime and manga for these fights, and this looked like there's something they pulled out. Like Death Battle can create cool moments of their own, but a lot of moments that they have are often created through scenes that already exist, and this is one of them. I'm pretty sure. I really love the sequence of events when Bakugo shoots Reze with the guns he have. Like I'm not sure if they put that in, but I like that they made it hand drawn. That makes it better that it's not in sprites. and it actually breaks up the sprite battle and make changes the animation for a brief moment, which I really appreciate. I was kind of happily surprised at that. What followed is the funny scene of Bakugo Susan Reze head off, and what makes this scene so funny that you get this brief moment of silence, like 2 seconds of silence, of Bakugo realizing what he did, and that eerie feeling of him shooting off a villain head. Like he's not a murderer, even though he had murder in his name, like before he finalized it. But it's nice to see that he's like hesitant, like, oh my god, I killed this person. Just for Reze to stop charging at him, that was peak comedy. Like his reaction before and after was just gold. And then we get this brief moment of hand-to-hand combat, which shows that Reze clearly have the advantage. Doesn't mean she'll win the fight, but it goes to show you that she's much more skilled than we thought. And honestly, I kind of like that because it goes to show that even though they didn't bring it up in the analyze section of the video, like the conclusion, it doesn't change the fact that she's quite skilled. And honestly, I like to see this since Bakugo is good in a fight. Not a lot of characters are skilled in a fight, and I really do like that they show that in this fight for a brief moment. Then we get this brief moment of Reze choking Bakugo, and I couldn't make a joke about how, oh, I wish it was me, but I'm not gonna do that. That would be too predictable. Instead, I'm gonna talk about how at this moment this probably made Bakugo the choice to kill Reze because My Hero Academia characters don't really kill people that much. Like Bakugo did, like, but only when like it was like the most evilest person in the whole show. Like no one's gonna bat an eye at all for one death. But I think at this moment Bakugo was like, yeah, I could really kill this person without no consequence. This is followed up by Reze just killing like two innocent people. So yeah, at this brief moment, Bug will probably think it's to himself, I could kill this person. Especially with the tear going down his eye. I don't think he's scared. I don't think he's scared at this moment because he's obviously getting choked. So yeah, he's in a tough situation. But yeah, I think this has made up his mind to take this fight even more seriously than before. I also like this quick moment of Reze turning back into her human form and biting Bakugo. I don't know if this is in character for her, but from what Death Battle told me, she is an assassin, so she would do something like this. And I like how she just does it so quickly and briefly, showing she's smarter than she looks, is more capable than she seems, and now she can regenerate after Bakugo's last attack. Also, there's another scene where she said "boom," and that must be another manga anime scene. Because I don't, I'm pretty sure that's not a death battle scene. I'm pretty sure that felt like the anime manga scene. It was so cool. In our context, the whole scene itself was so cool, and it just makes her feel a much more fearsome opponent for Bakugo. And the explosion was cool. The follow up was cool. And her overconfidence of thinking she got Bakugo like at the end, like about to kill him, like that was so cool. Gotta give her credit to the voice actors in this fight. Like I don't know about Wednesday, but the folks actor for Bago sounds quite similar. I'm not gonna say the original VA, but it's quite good, and I do like Wednesday's voice. If it's kind of like this in the dub, I could easily watch the dub over the sub. But anyway, cool moments and great moment for Wednesday showing how smart she is. I really like the following sequence in which Reggie blows Bago up with a massive explosive and gets cocky, talk about your blood was tasty before she gets the final kill on Bakugo. And I like how Bakugo surpasses limits and talk back to her saying she drinks his blood and his sweat. And I'm glad my prediction came true in which she explodes a little more than I expected. Her lower half explodes because the Bakugo sweat would have natural glycerin in it, and I really like that I predicted with that. And I like that's the reason she lost. And then Bakugo just goes crazy on her and beats her with her edge finishing move, which looked fantastic animatedly. And honestly, amazing end to this fight. Bakugo gonna win, and he did it in fantastic fashion. In short, what an amazing fight. It might be the best fight of the season. And that's that's like I'm hyping it up way too much, but it's honestly fair since this fight have any everything that the other fights kind of was lacking a little bit. Like it had great banter, great animation with different styles, good from begin to end. If I have to nitpick anything, I guess the last Reze attack wasn't that good. Comic if I'm wrong in the comic senses, but her last attack felt like little firecrackers, like a little bit of fireworks, and I get her lower half exploded, but I expected a much better final attack from her side than Bakugo's. But that's I don't know if I could say that's a nitpick. Well, no, that's not a nitpick. Honestly, Bakugo just stole the show after she got her moment, which she did got her moment, but we all know, at least for me, that Bakugo wasn't gonna go down without a fight, and he just proved it there. So yeah, Reze last attack wasn't that amazing, and I'm a little disappointed in it. But besides that, it was a beautiful, beautiful end to the fight. Bakugo went crazy, and it was honestly impressive how they showcase his strength through the final moment. And with the broken arm too, like with one arm, like his fight with All For One and that one fight with him and Deku versus Nine, all up in one scene was beautifully made. Honestly, this fight, I mean, was absolutely amazing. And that's my only gripe was Rizzy last attack. And that's my only gripe with this fight. Besides that, the fight was good from beginning to end, and I really enjoyed it. Now to conclude this fight, I'll talk about the conclusion of the fight, and I do not disagree with any of the categories, which is kind of odd that they only have three categories. I'm surprised that they put like five, like one for hand-to-hand combat and another for battle IQ or something like that. I don't know. It's just weird that it's only three, but I guess they just hit the major ones. So from what I know, and honestly, I had to do research at the death battle and ask my friends, and yeah, they kind of agree with the death battle, which I do agree with the assault because stamina is obviously go to Reze, she can self heal, and Bakugo cannot. It's simple as that. Speed, I also believe it go to Bakugo. I don't know a lot of Reze speed feats, good ones that I know of from my friends that watch the anime and read the manga. Like I haven't been told, and from what I know, Buckle is way faster than her, so I do agree with this result. And lastly, explosions. Yeah, once again, I can't really like from my perspective, they're both somewhat equal, but I would give it a Bakugo only because his explosions are dangerous, and then the death bottle. I forgot to mention this earlier, but it seemed like her explosions could be nullified if she gets wet or Bakugo get amplified, so that could be the case. So yeah, I don't agree with any of these, but like I said, I don't know a lot of Reze feats, so I can't really say which one is actually the better fighter. I do think Bakugo will win, but I don't have any proof. That's what I'm gonna say. That I don't disagree with the outcome of this fight. Now, this is the prediction part of the video for the next death battle, which I am actually excited to see since death battle is on a roll. And Megamind vs. Gru is an obvious one to make because honestly, I'm quite upset that Megamind didn't get like all the movies and spin-off and stuff like that. Like honestly, I'm just like I don't hate Despicable Me, at least the first one, and I really did like the second one. And the third one wasn't that good. And I don't even know if they have a fourth one. Not how much I don't really care about the first one. The minions are not that funny. Like, okay, let me talk about the death battle now. And honestly, Mega Man stops Ghoul. If Ghoul have the minions, then it's a much closer fight because Mega Man is like he have way better stuff to stop Ghoul than Ghoul had to stop Mega Man. Like the shrinking way, the giant Max. He does have a minion, but that minion is weak compared to Ghoul minions. But the point is, Mega Man should win if Ghoul doesn't have the minions. And even then, Mega Man should win because he just give himself superpowers. He could just shrink all of them. Like I said, he got the giant Mac. And okay, no. I'm about to say it's a stretch to say, Megamind durability is greater than Guru. Like Megamind have that one feat of hit getting hit a wall. I'm about to say something crazy, like saying Megamind durability is more than Guru. Nah, Guru got a better durability than Megamind. So yeah, I predict Megamind should logically win. I kind of doubt it since sometimes Death Battle give it to people that shouldn't win. But honestly, I don't really care as long as it's a good fight. I'm okay with my winner pick or my bias pick doesn't win as long as the fight is that good. So with that said, Megamind is my prediction win as my favorite, but also I think Death Battle win. So favorite win and Megamind is the Death Battle one, if that makes sense.